Marauders for the Month by Lishiee. Chapter 19. A Bad Beginning. Lily sat down in the empty spot by Pandora at the Gryffindor table. Mary and Marlene were officially willing to sit next to each other, the other two girls relishing finally not having to stop bickering or lunging during meals. After last night, the two girls were on better terms. Lily had walked in on the nastiest fight she had seen between them ever, if not in years. She had stopped them immediately, putting space between them before things got even more ugly. The amount of anger and passion radiating off of them was concerning. Lily wasn't sure why they were getting this heated over detention. Marlene had missed Hogsmeade with Dorcas, but they still had a few more times to go, so there was no way that was it. When Lily had confronted the two girls about it and tried to get answers out of them, they had insisted it was just about the prank and detention. Either way, Lily was over the tense atmosphere and told them to sort it out before she started digging. Thankfully, their little talk worked out. It would take a while for the two of them to get back on good terms, but it wouldn't be the first time. No matter what, Lily was glad the vibes at the end of the Gryffindor table were back to normal. Dynamic duo back together, eh? James smiled, the rest of the boys clattering down in their seats after him. You know it, Marlene smirked. Instead of sitting next to each other like they usually did, Sirius and Remus sat on opposite sides, barely sparing the other a glance. There goes the normality. Lily nudged Remus's shoulder, arching her eyebrow and nodding her head towards Sirius. The boy only shook his head and went back to filling his plate. She wasn't likely to get much information out of him today. She'd have to wait until data tomorrow morning. The two boys were known for blowing up at each other every once in a while, though, so Lily wasn't too surprised they were fighting. So Pandora, Sirius drawled, pushing his foot around. How's Reg? Haven't talked to the Git in a minute. Pandora pondered, glancing around the great hall before answering the boy. He's doing good. I think he might be sneaking off to see someone in secret. Everyone perked up at that. Remus and Pandora made eye contact for a quick second before ceasing it just as quickly. James began to choke on his food, Peter leaning over to slam on his back. Really? Sirius gasped. The boy dropped his fork and leaned forward with wide eyes. Maybe so, Pandora smirked, revealing no more. Peter finally helped dislodge the piece of sausage from James's throat, who now looked extremely worried at the conversation topic. Well, how do you know who it is? Do you know who it is? Sirius sputtered. Pandora shook her head. Since her smirk was still covering her face, Sirius immediately called bullshit. Oh, you fucking know! You can't just say that and not tell me who it is. But I can. Such a Slytherin. Ravenclaw, Pandora corrected, smiling as she pushed a few strawberries onto Lily's plate. Sirius continued to glare at her, seeing he was getting nowhere with this. Well, I think it's time to go. James clapped his hands together abruptly after scarfing down the rest of the food on his plate in record time. He grabbed a hold of Sirius's arm and tugged him up. Peter excused himself as well, chuckling as he followed them out. Sirius was attempting to fight James's grip, but it was no use. They were out and into the halls in no time. Well? Marlene asked. Well, what? Pandora responded, returning to her usual calm. Remus snickered as Mary and Marlene gaped at her. Wait, Pandora, you have to tell us, Mary pleaded, dropping her utensils and pushing her hands together. Marlene nodded her head vigorously in agreement. Pandora glanced at the two girls and then to Remus. I would, but I fear it's time for us to go to class, Pandora sighed, her smirk returning only slightly. Mary's jaw dropped further. What? Marlene turned to her and smirked, sticking her tongue out in victory as she grabbed her satchel. Mary reached out and swatted her arm. Tough luck, McDonald, Marlene teased, following Pandora and Remus out. This is bullshit, Mary shrilled. She whipped to face Lily, eyes wide. Can you believe this? Lily shook her head. If Marlene finds out before us, I'm rioting. Hestia Jones was the most annoying person Lily had ever met. This girl was talking her ear off. Maybe calling her annoying wasn't very nice, but Lily was in no mood for this shit. For some reason, the arithmetic professor assigned partners for today's assignment. Now she was sitting next to Hestia, who couldn't give a damn about their assignment, let alone the subject. The girl was talking while painting her nails, not giving the assignment a second glance. The worst part was that the professor was very strict about both parties having to participate, meaning Lily couldn't just do all the work. The man had eyes everywhere. Hestia, could you help me with this problem? Lily asked politely, trying to allow her to jump in and do her work. The girl glanced up, ceasing chatter for a second. You don't want to just do it all yourself? Lily could just grab her by that stupid blue tie and tell her off. Sadly, there would be no benefit. We can't. You know how he is. The girl sighed exaggeratedly, twisting the lid back on the bottle and carefully pulling her wand out of her pocket. She cast a drying charm and shook her hands out before grabbing the spare quill. Throughout the entire assignment, the girl asked Lily how to do every little thing. She was asking about things they learned in 5th year. The most annoying part was that Lily knew the girl was smart. Most times, when their assignments or tests were returned, she was one of the people who did the best. The girl knew what she was doing. She just really didn't want to do it. Lily watched as the girl slowly scribbled out her work, taking breaks to doodle across the parchment. When Lily finally got her hands back on the parchment, she almost burnt it to a crisp. Half of it was fucking wrong. Hestia? The girl had pulled the nail polish back out. Half of this is wrong. Really? Sorry about that. Lily stared at her as she continued to tend to her nails. Are you going to fix it then? Hestia took a pause, seemingly deciding if she was going to do her work. Lily pinched the bridge of her nose. How about this? I'll paint the nails on one of your hands if you fix the work. Does that work for you? Hestia immediately perked up, a grin taking over her face. Cheers! Lily tried not to scoff as she picked up the lid and gently grabbed the girl's hand. What the fuck had her studies come to? Hestia hummed happily as she quickly fixed the work and basically got a free manicure. Lily made sure to be careful and paint as delicately as possible. The last thing she needed was Hestia complaining about nail polish being on her skin. This time it only took about 5 minutes for Hestia to finish the problems. Suddenly, she was a fucking genius who knew how to do all of it and didn't need any help. All done, the girl smiled cheerily, dropping her quill. She turned to watch Lily paint the last nail on her hand. You're really good at this. Lily attempted a small smile as she twisted the lid back on and quickly dried Hestia's nails. Mary will do that to you. Hestia smiled before going back to painting her nails and gossiping. At least the work was done. Mary dumped her stuff on the table, taking extra care not to mess with any of Lily's things that were already spread out. The two girls decided to spend the night at the library doing their potions assignment. Neither of them had started it, and the assignment was to write an essay about a potion they were going to be making soon. Looking at the recipe, Lily had a bad feeling. So, how was class today? Mary asked, sourcing through her textbooks. Alchemy was fine. Arithmetic, however, I thought about death. Mary chuckled a little while prying open her textbook. What happened then? Hestia fucking Jones. Mary's chuckles turned into full-blown laughter. The girl almost missed her seat when trying to sit because she was laughing so hard. Lily glared at her until she calmed down. She's not that bad, Lils. Oh, but she is. I had to paint her nails just to get her to do her work. Girls got priorities. Lily rolled her eyes. Of course, that was Mary's response. The two girls got a good start on their essay before they spoke up again. This essay was already looking like it was going to take some time, so they allowed themselves a small break. How was your day? Lily asked, twirling one of her strands of hair. Fantastic. Having Mondays off is an absolute blessing. I bet it is. Mary popped the piece of gum she was chewing on, blowing a large bubble soon after. The girl twirled her quill around while Lily started back up on the essay. There really was no time for breaks. Lily just wanted this essay over and done with. Oh, also, Marlene was told nothing. Apparently Pandora still won't budge. Thank fuck. Marlene would have bragged until the end of time. Mary nodded her head, giggling fondly. The girl eventually got back to work, getting bored in the silence. The two of them scribbled away, finally getting in the groove. Lily was able to write quickly for the first time today. It definitely wasn't quick enough, though. She would only be able to finish the potions assignment tonight. Her alchemy homework would have to be left for Wednesday morning. They swapped essays and read them over for each other, scribbling erasable small notes on the side. With the small critiques getting fixed hastily, they were able to get out of the library by 9:30 p.m. The girls collected their things and headed out. So, do you have any idea who it could be? Mary asked, breaking the silence. Their shoes clicked against the floor, echoing throughout the eerily empty halls. The dark of night engulfed the castle, making it feel a bit more calm. I'm not really sure. It's probably not a Slytherin, though. I agree. Why else would he be sneaking around? Lily nodded her head and shrugged her tote higher up on her shoulder. The two girls walked the rest of the way in silence, pondering about what mysterious boy Regulus could be sneaking off with. They entered the common room to the boys laying all about the couch. Lily! Sirius cheered, staring at her from his upside-down state. Remus was sat on the opposite couch, nose stuck in a book, with James reading over his shoulder. Hey, Sirius. Lily took the spot next to him and sighed. Bad day, eh? Sirius smirked. Yeah, fucking Hestia. Hey, don't badmouth Hestia. She's my favourite Ravenclaw. Lily arched her eyebrow, extremely unimpressed. She had never seen the two interact. What can I say? She always has the most interesting gossip. Mary burst back into giggles. Leave it to Sirius and Mary to side with Hestia. Lily tuned the two of them out, laying her head onto the back of the couch. The only thing she could think about was how chaotic the rest of the week would be. She was already behind on her homework. The one wish she had was that none of her other teachers would force her to do any more work with the idiots in her classes. It would honestly be her last straw. Lily slowly drifted off to the sound of hushed whispering and giggling, thinking about all the things she had to do this week. She was not excited one bit. Okay, awesome. Thanks for listening. This one was actually a little bit short. I thought it'd be longer. Anyway, I messed up in the end there because I was like, wait a second, what is the word? Because it was missing a letter, and I was like, oh no, this is a word. Oh god, what is this word? Anyway, we're at 98 subscribers. That's... what? Anyway, we're almost hitting 100, which will be fun. Didn't think that it would happen. But fun. Heads up, if you're following this one, following Marauders for a month but not anything else, I'm going to be uploading in a different fic. I almost said the name. I almost gave it away. Yeah, I've got like 2 episodes uploaded already. Not public, but like they're uploaded and then private. Yeah. Fun. When it hits 100, those 2 are being released, and then I will jump between, instead of making Marauders for the month priority, it would jump between Marauders for the month, the 100 subscriber one, and back and forth, just making sure it's even until this one's finished. So I'm going to see how many I can get out today before I have to start doing that, because we are now on chapter, this one was 19, we're going to go to 20, and then there's like 31, so not that many left. Still would prefer to finish it, don't think I will, just going to see how far I can get. Okay, thank you for listening, that was a long outro, but yeah.